Magic and miracles are basically the same thing, but very, very, very different at the same time. And they have to deal with the intention of the user. They're the same thing because they're quote unquote supernatural powers, right? That span beyond the confines of space and time. But the thing is, miracles are natural because you span beyond the confines of space and time, right? So miracles are a natural part of our progression. And miracles are a natural part of our being. Magic is the reduction of the power of a miracle. So if you look at Jesus, right? Jesus was a miracle worker, is a miracle worker, right? Why? Because he built himself up, right? He learned, he was a human, he learned, he grew until he understood that he was more than human, right? So he built himself up to the level of becoming a miracle worker. He stands outside of space and time in order to use his natural abilities of his own essence to heal people who are caught in the confines, right? Caught in the confines meaning their perspective is caught in the confines of space and time. So as the Christ, as the made miracle worker, right? He lent people his belief, his understanding, his knowing of everybody's space beyond, everybody's place beyond space and time. So their belief in him allowed people to be healed. So because Jesus stood within the oneness, right? He was able to use abilities within that oneness. His faith was so strong that he was able to use abilities within that oneness, right? He was in his God self, right? He embodied his God essence, right? So people's belief in Christ's God essence, right? In the Christ God's essence, in the Christ essence, right? The essence that he stood in, they were able to be healed, right? Because of their belief, right? So when you become a miracle worker, you're in Christ consciousness, right? You stand outside of your physical being, knowing that you are more, knowing that you are eternal, knowing that you are of the oneness, which has the potential of everything. And you bring that loving energy, you bring that power, you bring that belief, you bring that faith in order to heal people, in order to manipulate time, space, and from the standpoint of light, knowing that you are beyond time and space, knowing that you have dominion over this realm. Your consciousness, your essence is no longer within the confines of time and space. So your abilities that you bring into time and space span beyond time and space, right? Beyond this physical realm, right? Because this physical realm is a temporary existence within all of reality. So within everything, there's this clump of this physical reality, right? Which is temporary because it's not of the eternal, right? But this does not mean you exist outside of the eternal. You are within the eternal right now. You are your eternal being right now, you know? You don't gain a soul when you die, right? You are your soul, right? So when you're studying spirituality, spirituality is just the condition of yourself because you're already spirit, right? So you're looking at the condition of who you are, of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Spirituality is not a separate form of a part outside of your existence. Spirituality is not separate from you. But you're examining your condition of the self within eternity, right? Within it all and beyond just the physical. So when you unlock these abilities as miracle workers, right? Sometimes, you know, they're innate and you come in with specific abilities because you've probably been working on this for lifetimes, right? So it's not that you haven't earned it, but you're at a place where if these abilities are innate, if you come in as a child being a healer or whatever, you worked on this in different lifetimes. Like this is where you are in your level of consciousness, right? So as we grow, as we build ourselves up in consciousness, all these abilities are unlocked, right? And you're able to use these abilities from a place of light because as your consciousness grows, you realize you are a light being and you come from a place of good intention. This is the direction of our growth because we are love. We are of the eternal energy, which is love, which is God, right? God is love, right? So you build yourself up so your intentions become good. You're not in a place of wanting or greed. When you build up your consciousness, you realize you are everything, you have everything. You're from the eternal, right? So you can manifest anything, right? So you're not lacking anything. So you're not coming from a place of greed or wanting to take anything from anybody. When you build yourself up and become that level of miracle worker, what you're doing is you're realizing to have is to give. You know what I'm saying? If you have everything and your cup overflows, the only thing for you in order to expand, in order to extend yourself in love, right? Which is what we're here to do, extend ourselves in love, right? Through who we are, through our creativity, through giving, right? So when you understand to have is to give, you're going to want to use those energies. You're going to want to use those miracles, right? That natural magic in order to give, in order to love, in order to extend yourself in love. That's the natural way. That's who we are. That's our essence. That's what we do. We are creators like our creator. So we extend, we give, we love, you know. We act within our nature, which is to love. Knowing that we have dominion, right, over this realm. Knowing what your powers are. But you don't abuse it because you don't need to. There's nothing that you need. You're not in need of anything. You don't have a lack mindset, right? You know you are everything. You're already love. You're already light. You've already found that joy within you, right? You already found that peace within you. You already found out. You already know. You're already living from a place that you are everything. So the only thing to do from that standpoint is to give, is to extend, right? Extend your loving energy. And you can do this by just being, you know what I'm saying? You can do this by these abilities that you've unlocked and everything like that, but just your being, right? And bringing high vibrational loving energy, you extending yourself. By having loving thoughts, you're extending yourself, you know? This is not about low vibrational self-sacrifice. None of that is necessary. We're all eternal beings. We all have everything. But we're coming into that realization that we all have everything. And you have that light energy within you. So everywhere you go, you extending that light energy, right? You're bringing love. Every conversation you have, every thought you have is love, 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 love. So you're expanding yourself in love. You're bringing love into this world, into this realm, and increasing the vibration of the whole realm, right? You're activating people's love within them, you know? And people with the abilities, you're healing, you're building, whatever your ability is, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever your abilities are, you're using those for the greatest good, because you are the greatest good, and you know that's all there is. You know that everything else is an illusion. You know you're not missing anything, so there's nothing to take. You give, give, give. And this is a type of giving that doesn't take away from you. It doesn't deplete. It doesn't say that you don't have boundaries and this and that. This is a different type of giving. It's a giving of the love, the essence that you are, you know? You don't even have to physically give anything, you know what I'm saying? This is a different type of giving. This is a giving of your pure essence. And you got to understand that this is magical. This is natural magic, you know? On the other hand, there is magic, right? The type of magic that we know of. And it's not, and there are people who have the physical knowledge of how to do certain rituals to produce similar results, right? But the results are not the same, you know what I'm saying? Because it's not the same light, it's not the same creativity, it's not the same outcome it's pretty much stolen energy, right? So people do rituals and they take energy from one place and put it into another, but it's for reasons of personal gain, reasons of greed, reasons to have a specific outcome that they want to have, reasons of enhancing what they want to enhance, right? But this all comes from a lack mindset. This is low vibrational energy, you know what I'm saying? Because it's energy that's being taken by people, spirits, entities, whatever, who feel like they're lacking something, who have not focused on building themselves up to naturally acquire these things, but feel like they need to take a shortcut and use rituals and use this and that to gain what they think they don't have, you know, and what they feel is important. But they haven't done the work, you know. So a lot, not all, of these entities feel like, entities, people, spirits, whatever you want to call them, whoever chooses to do this, you know, in body and not out of body, whatever. They do not remember that they are everything. You know what I'm saying? So they're in this karmic cycle. And I say karmic cycle because this is the realm that we're on, right? Or we're dealing with the karma. We're dealing with the cycles that we're living in, right? Because of past traumas that have come up, and we feel like we're wronged, and we hold things down, bottle things up inside, and we don't deal with the trauma. We don't try to heal past the trauma. Most people don't, you know what I'm saying? That's the most important thing. That's what we're here for, to heal past that trauma. You know what I'm saying? So that we can come back into remembering who we are. But a lot of people don't remember who they are. So they accumulate more and more trauma, more and more karma, right? So they have to come back and work things out with different people, work things out with different spirits, work things out with themselves, constantly learning lessons, but not necessarily learning from them because their focus is not on learning those lessons, you know? But a lot of times, and these people, some beings, people, whatever, might even consider themselves villains, right? Have totally lost sight of who they truly are and consider themselves to be enemies and consider themselves to be villains and consider themselves to, you know, do the devil's bidding happily, you know what I'm saying? But of course they're not truly happy because they feel like they're in need, you know what I'm saying? So because of their need, they become the devil's minions, and they start doing things to hurt, steal, kill, whatever, sacrifice, a lot of sacrificial stuff, you know? And it ain't sacrificing themselves, they sacrificing other people, thinking that, you know, they get away with this, but you don't get away with things like that. And when they do these things, they gain certain energies, they gain certain properties of that look similar to that natural magic, you know, but they're not, because they have to be paid back, and they get stuck, and they never satisfy, so they want more and more. So this is a greed. People within this want magic or have magic or do magic, whatever, and it's a reduction of that love energy because it's loveless, you know what I'm saying? It's like a shadow aspect of the love energy in order to get what they want, or they feel like they're more, you know, they don't see the equality, they don't see the fact that everybody else is entitled to their life and their energy and their love just like they are, you know what I'm saying? So they're okay with stealing it to get what they feel like they deserve, and other people don't deserve it. Like, they're just caught up in their mindset, and they believe this magic, right? This ritualistic magic where they can harness these energies in physical ways, and they have the knowledge to do that because this stuff been passed down and stuff like that, or they've done sell their souls, so they know about different rituals that they can do to gain this and gain that. Like, they feel like this is the way out, but it's not the way out. It's not the way to satisfaction. It's not the way to the love that their soul is requiring, right? The way out is an expansion of your consciousness, right? So they're within the illusion that things is the way to become satisfied. That acquiring things and power and others' energy is the way to enhance your life when it's not, right? Because a lot of times these people, these beings, these entities, these things, whatever they call themselves, a lot of times, all the times they're not, they have it. You know what I'm saying? They've done it. They've done these over and over again, and they become more and more insecure. They feel themselves with more and more guilt. It might not be on the surface, but within, you know? So it perpetuates itself. So this behavior perpetuates itself, and they're caught in this loop of doing the same things over and over again and getting themselves in the same twisted, sad feeling, you know? And it makes them do the same thing over and over again, you know? It's the cycle of death and destruction, you know? So then once they leave this physical, they're going to have to repeat the cycles of come back and repeat it, and come back and repeat it, or go to a darker realm and repeat it, whatever. It's like the way out, the way to satisfaction, the way to love, the way to how they want to feel is not within that reduced, that magic that is reduced from that energy of love, you know? And in order to find what they're actually looking for, right? In order to find that richness, right, that they think comes from power and money, in order to find that true richness, it comes from looking within themselves, because they are everything, right? They are a part of the all. They have it within them, you know, but they have to focus on themselves. They have to face their demons, right? Which is that built up trauma that cause all the issues that's going on in their life, that's going on in their psyche, you know what I'm saying? That shapes their belief in things that are dark and things that are and lies about themselves, you know? This is the only way to break free and come into true magic. It's the only way. And I know this firsthand because I've been experiencing these energies my whole life. You know what I'm saying? My whole life. And I've only just within the past few years become conscious of what it actually is, right? Because I started focusing on my healing, right? But as I begin to heal, things that have started becoming more and more clear, right? That I've been around all these energies, these, you know, vampiric energies that want to take, you know? But actually understanding where they're coming from, like, it's becoming super, super clear as I've grown. And you know it because these energies, they want what you have, you know what I'm saying? They want what they want. They think they're taking something by temporarily sucking energy from you, but I know I'm a well that can't be depleted, right? They kind of know it too. But the thing is, what they don't realize is so are they, right? They see love, they see ease, they see joy that comes strictly from me, right? Because these are people who tried to take everything else, physical things, relationships, whatever, and it doesn't affect me in the way that they think it's going to affect me, right? Because I'm growing at the same time, simultaneously, to learning who I am, right? So it's coming naturally. So what they think they're taking, they're not taking anything. What they're not realizing is that they have what they think they're taking. You know what I'm saying? They are that. They are the love. They are the peace. They are the joy, right? So those energies that focus on me, they could be taking that time to focus on themselves and learn that for themselves, you know? And I'm not the only one that has gone through this. Plenty of people have gone through this, you know what I'm saying? But all of these people, all of these things that come up against you, you got to realize that they're not your enemy. That you greet them in your, you know, you don't have to greet them outside or whatever, but in your mind, in your heart, in your spirit with love and compassion, because that's what they are. When you was facing your own demons, you had to take care of yourself with love and compassion. And you realize that everybody else is doing the same exact thing. You know, whatever pace they're going at. Whether they're lashing out at you, those are just projections of how they feel inside. Whether they're trying to take something from you, those are projections of how they feel inside. You know, they're slowly dealing with their own demons, consciously or unconsciously, you know. But they're going to come into that conscious awareness of how to deal with it. And that love and compassion is there because they really can't take nothing from you. So they're not really your enemies, but you have compassion for them. You see where they are in their journey because you've been there. You know what I'm saying? You've been there when you felt like you wasn't enough, when you felt like you didn't have. And then you keep growing and going and clinging to spirit, clinging to the truth, and realize until you realize that you are, that you have, you know, everything. You know what I'm saying? That you don't need anything. You don't need the outside approval. You don't need these things. You don't need, you know what I'm saying? You're not in need. You're everything and you have everything. So it's like have compassion for your loved ones, have compassion for your enemies to know that they're going to come into that understanding that they are everything. You know what I'm saying? And in the meantime, you can't be afraid of their magic because you realize you're magical. You know what I'm saying? Naturally magical, naturally protected, naturally everything. So nobody can take away the everything that you are, right? Energy cannot be created or destroyed, right? That is the definition of energy, and that is God. You know what I'm saying? That is you because you are created from that energy. You are one with that energy. You are an individual, but you are also a part of the oneness, right? So you don't have to protect, you don't have to be vigilant against anything or anyone, and it doesn't hurt you to be compassionate and be loving to ones who can't be compassionate or loving towards you because they haven't found that for themselves yet. It doesn't take anything away from you, you know what I'm saying? That's a part of the natural magic that you are, you know? As we do these sort of rituals and staying in our conscious awareness, right, of the love that we are, we're exercising that muscle, right? We're exercising that muscle to stay above it, you know? Above the low vibey shit. And when the low vibey shit comes or you forget, you know how to come straight back to it. You know what I'm saying? You know the difference between low vibe energy and your high vibrational self. You know what I'm saying? So you'll know how to differentiate. You know how to use it. You know how to come back to it. Those of us who are rooted in this energy hold that responsibility. You ain't got to tell nobody. You ain't got to be all out there with it, but just hold the responsibility, knowing for yourself that that you can hold this energy for people. You can hold this energy for, because everybody's your loved ones. Everybody's your brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? So we're able to hold this energy. So why not? Why not spread our love in this way? You know what I'm saying? Why not be magic for somebody else? You know what I'm saying? Why not be these miracle workers when it's first of all, it's what you're doing. It's the energy that you want to be in. Second of all, you know it's what you're here to do. You're here to extend yourself in energy. It's not easy. It's not easy, but it's a part of what you know you can do. And you know that you'll be helping just by being your authentic self, being your true self in the love that you are. And as you're on your journey and you're confronted with that contrived magic, with that low vibey magic, you don't have to address it. You know what I'm saying? You look at it as the temptation it is. Remember Jesus when he was on his journey and he was tempted by the devil? Shit starts shifting around you. You know what I'm saying? It looks crazy. It's something that's unrecognizable, right? But you have to know that it is the illusion. You have to know that it is part of the illusion. Like, you have to realize that these things are going to come, you know? Don't let it push you out of character. Cling to the love and the joy and the peace that you know that you are, you know? Don't be hungry for that type of magic, because that type of magic is fear, right? It is part of the illusion. The temptation is the fear, right? Fear that you don't have, so that you need these things to get, you know what I'm saying? Do not be pushed into this fear. You are love, you are light, you are greater than the fear. And the only way they can get you, right? The only way these illusions can get to you, even if it's magic that you're seeing with your eyes, right? The only way these things can get to you is if you begin to fear, if you start becoming defensive, if you start trying to figure out ways to fight it, you know what I'm saying? If you start making it bigger than what it is, you know, then you've got yourself caught up in the illusion, right? And these things can get to you. I know it sounds weird. It's like, oh, what the hell is she talking about? But go ahead and start your journey. Go ahead and start your journey to self. Start having that faith. Start clinging to you. Stop caring about the societal norms and watch your world shift, right? Watch that shit come after you. You know what I'm saying? And watch how you shift into a person that you didn't even know that you were. You start unlocking exactly who you are and learning about who you are. And as those beautiful things start coming in about learning yourself and learning love and learning how to love, the other side is going to come too and try to lure you back in, right? That temptation is going to come too. And temptation is not only in the things that you want, but also in the things that they want you to fear. You know what I'm saying? So it's more, if you don't understand what I'm talking about, then you haven't gotten to that place of experience. But if you choose that route, you will get there. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know what I'm talking about, you just haven't experienced it yet, you know. And those two journeys are going to look the same, right? But it's going to be those same bones experiencing that same thing, right? Experiencing temptations that's catered to you, you know what I'm saying? Experiencing things that's catered to your specific understanding of life and your specific way of life, you know. But I'm saying if you're a type of person that chooses to live in the light, really choose to live in it, right? And cling to it, and you're going to see your power. You're going to see how much love and how much power you are, and how much the power of love outweighs anything in this world, any and everything in this world, because it's who you are, right? You're going to see how your mind starts unlocking. You know what I'm saying? You're going to see how your awareness is greater than you thought it was. Like, you just start knowing things and start hearing things, start seeing. You're going to see, you know? You are a magical being, naturally. Learn to love you and learn to love everybody else. And this just means knowing and accepting that we are all beautiful, immortal, perfect beings. You know what I'm saying? Here experiencing.